My fortress of solitude. Or the climate craters, as the case may be. Evening. Climate. They sent us some new toys, and as you can see, they're caked in chalk because we took them off the wall a couple of days ago. So, climate craters. You are looking at, the only thing I can describe them as is moon rocks. If you imagine what a rock from the moon would be like, that you could climb on, then chances are this would be it. They've got very pitted surfaces, lots of little sneaky catches on them, but they're actually primarily pockets. So let's start. Nice flat back, good and sanded. The bolt hole is nice and centered and flat, and there's an inset washer. All of them perfectly fine. The bolts go in and out without too much bother. Hey Dave, what's going on, man? Cheers. All the bolts slide in and out without any bother. And then you have the main feature of these, which is these great big pockets. And none of them are, well, there's a couple of small ones which we'll get to, but most of them are absolutely huge. You know, I really got my hand in this. Now, what makes these different, obviously apart from their appearance and the fact that they look like the Hulks pooped them out, is this area here, in between all the pits, this in here is actually textured, and the outside is actually not. It's actually dual texture, but not dual texture. You know, it's slick, but it's not slick. It's a bit of a strange mix, and it certainly makes for a unique look and feel. So yeah, these holds, obviously climate. You never see a climate hold generally without one of the little iron cross logos on them, and it's nice and embossed on there. It always shows up. It's funny. It's like no matter how much chalk you get on them, all you got to do is a little rub, and your little climate logo comes out. We'll whiz through this pretty quick. Again, another big pocket. We use these as pinchers a lot actually, because when you get them up vertically, these holes actually come into play as really quite nice thumb catches. And they're funny though, this one's not exactly, you know, super deep. It's a little bit more shallow than that, but it's got a nice smooth edge on it, and you get a thumb catch on if you want to start playing pinches with them. This one, monstrous. If I remember correctly, you can get a big double match on this bugger. It's a big hold. People who look at the edges and think that they're actually broken or they're chipped. It's not. It's actually the way they're molded. Where the dimples come into the edge of the mold. They're actually molded like that. Again, nice flat back, even for a big hold. Inset washer. Nice climate logo. This one's actually. We actually had this one on the roof. It was actually a whole bunch of fun to play with. This one. It's a double pocket, good pinch, you know, rather than actually get around the edge and do what we did before. It's like, you know, grab one and pinch. This one's actually, you know, it's just made for pinching or matching, whichever way you want it. Little shallow pocket, fairly big pocket. You know, my hands are pretty big, but I can still get 4 fingers in this up to a pad and a half. So you might get a little bit of strain on your joints. You're not, you know, your hands aren't ergonomically on the hold, but it's actually a really nice hold to grab onto. Onto an even bigger match. Again, huge pinch. This one is absolutely bomb-proof, and it's been shaped in such a way that the edges, when you do pinch it, it's actually really nice. It's actually more comfortable, I find, to hold this hold like this than it is to actually go onto it and use the pockets, because, you know, you've got a 3-finger pocket and then you've got a big one, but it's like donk. It's just absolutely bomb-proof on the roof as well. You know, because your hand's actually coming around and grabbing like this, you're really quite solid on the hold on the ceiling. I'll just skim through the rest of these really quickly. Here is the shallowest pocket of them all. The teeny tiny baby pocket. The hold's pretty big, the pocket's pretty small. You're looking at a pad on this, but you're still looking at 3 fingers. It looks quite small, and it is actually quite small. And you've got a little thumb catch if you really want to use it as a pinch. But this is the smallest pocket out of the lot of them. Again, but they've all got nice smooth edges, and they've all got really nice thumb catches. It's actually really quite nice to hold on to. And I believe the biggest pocket, or the biggest hold, is this one. Again, they must have a belt sander that's about half a mile wide to sand the back of some of these, because they're all completely flat. They are flat as you like. Big washers. And this one, you're looking at 2 pads, and if you wanted, you could probably, if your hands are small, you could probably get your thumb up and in and really crimp on this, but it's not a good idea. you can actually really get your fingers into this all the way through 2 pads. It's the biggest one of the lot. The thumb catches aren't all that good on this one, unfortunately, unless you get it this way. Thumb catches aren't so much fun. Dunk, as if by magic. This way, you've got a really nice big thumb catch. So you've got a lot of alternate ways to hold on to these holds. They're really super fun. We actually had this one, actually we didn't have this one, we had one of them where we actually started turning them upside down because this was just too big to hold on to as you're using it as an edge, whereas this is still pretty big, but you can just switch your roots up, you know. So these are the Climate Craters. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 holds in the set. Price isn't too bad, quality is of utmost standards as per usual. Climate are doing a really good job and they're churning out a lot of shapes. Another one of Lou Anderson's Wonder creations. So if you want a little bit of moon rock love on your wall, I suggest you have a look at them. You need some pockets. They're not the biggest. They are some of the biggest pockets out there. They're not the most home wall friendly sizes because they are pretty big. You know, the smaller ones, you get the small sets or the medium sets, excuse me, they are actually pretty home wall friendly and some of the pockets are pretty bomber. It's the bigger pockets you really want, especially if you're in a commercial gym, if you want to set them across the roof. That's it. We'll let you know how they climb. Peace. Fuck me, Dave! Do you want to come in here like you're ruining all my fucking takes, man? Seriously, you're like a fucking bitch. Seriously.